Hey guys, welcome back to Coin Knowledge. So today I actually want to go over playable games, and we're going to be looking at why I think that the token, their native token Bull, has been killing it over the 30-day chart here. Even on the 7-day, we'll take a look at one of the biggest reasons why I believe to be extremely bullish on the ecosystem. We've actually done a more kind of overview of playable games. We've actually done that video on this channel. You can look back through it. So we'll get into it. If you guys can subscribe to the channel and like the video, your support means everything. So if you look at playable games here, we can already see on the 1 month chart, they're up about 1,500%. So I mean, clean 10, 15x right there. And if we can actually look at the 7-day chart, still up almost 200%. I think it actually was 200% at the peak of this little run up that we had here. It actually got up to about over 9 cents. Well, 0.009 hundredths of a cent, almost to a penny actually, and they're still only sitting at about a $40 million market cap. Now I do say only, as that they were about a $10 million market cap when we first covered them, about a 10 to $20 million market cap. So yes, they have ran up. They've almost doubled from that time, doubled if not tripled. But even at a $40 million market cap, I think that Playable Games is super undervalued. And we'll compare it to another project that's very similar to what they're building. If you're not familiar with what Playable Games is, it is a gaming ecosystem. Think of like almost like a Gala Games or a Myria Games. It is a node ecosystem as well. So they do have their playable nodes, which actually brings me to my next point. So playable games, actually, they were running, especially when we covered it when we covered playable games in our other video. They did run a 50% off node sale. So if you were interested in getting a playable nodes that does emit tokens every single day to the node owners, I think it's like 1,300 tokens or something like that. They actually have sold out. So they put out, that's a wrap for a 50% off node sale. They have said that that 50% off is never going to happen again. So, and we're talking about, it was quite a bit of nodes that they sold actually. So we can see here that now they've sold almost 5,300 nodes, and the purchase cap is still 50,000. And they put out about 1,300 bold tokens a day, but now the price is back up to 5,300, and that price will go up by 100 USD for every playable nodes that are sold. So I wonder if they sell one more node, if it'll be 5,400, more than likely. But again, when we covered it, you could have got a node at about 2,300, I want to say, or 2,400, which is pretty cheap, especially now that they've immediately just doubled in price now that that sale has been sold out. I do forget exactly how many of those nodes at the 50% off sale that they were selling. So see if I can find it here real fast. I want to say it was like 1,000 nodes or something like that. Maybe not that much, but it was a good amount of nodes. So yeah, we can see. So at this post, we have less than 470 playable nodes left. So, and again, I can't remember exactly. Oh, yep, 900, or buy one of the 900 nodes at 50% off. So it was almost about 1,000. Yep, and you'll automatically be entered to win. Yep, so one of the extra 100. So it was 1,000 nodes at 50% off. So just right there, they raised up so much money by selling all those. And again, yes, there's more node emissions now happening, but I think that's extremely bullish. The fact that even in this, granted, we're in more of a bullish climate market-wise that we have been for the last 2 years. But the fact that Playable Games just sold out 1,000 nodes just like that in a pretty quick time frame, I would say, is extremely bullish, showing that there is interest in Playable Games in their ecosystem. Another ecosystem I want to compare it to is almost like a Gala Games, since they are having multiple games come to their ecosystem. They do have obviously their playable nodes, very similar. Now, what Gala Games is doing today versus what they were doing, years ago at the peak of last bull run is very different. They're not just a gaming ecosystem, obviously now that, and we know we've covered Gala Games multiple times on this channel. So, but we can see if we look back at the last bull market where Gala Games got to. I mean, we're looking at Gala Games was, at one point just a couple $1 million in market cap, and they were kind of stagnant for a little bit. They climbed up to about 100 million. Then we can see they start really getting traction. And even before the Coinbase listing, they were almost $1 billion in valuation. And then we remember the Coinbase listing, and they had some other catalysts as well, but immediately shot up to about a $5 billion market cap at their peak of last bull run. Now that's crazy. Now, do I think about Gala Games going to do that again? That's a video to be made for another time for Gala Games, but I think it's very bullish, especially if you just look at the fact that Gala Games today, at today evaluations, They are at a $650 million market cap, and they have only been seeing positive price action within the last 30 days, like most projects have, especially with what they have going on internally. We've covered their lawsuit between the founders here multiple times. But the fact that Playable Games is still, yes, $650 million market cap versus a $40 million market cap. That's still what, like 15x under evaluation. So I think it can obviously, I think it could 10x from here. Now, if you were able to get into Playable Games, about a month ago, you've already seen that 10x. So if it 10x from here, which I think it could do, you could potentially be looking at 100x if you had got in about a month ago. Now, I don't think that Playable Games stops at $400 million market cap or several $100 million market cap. I actually have high conviction in Playable Games and what they're building. I think that they're going to crush it in the next bull run. I could see, especially for a gaming ecosystem like this, building on Avalanche. When Avalanche has its own separate gaming narrative, gaming on Avalanche, which we know they will, I'm very confident in that. And when Avalanche has its own run up, to its all-time highs, obviously all the gaming ecosystems and projects underneath Avalanche are going to do very, very well. I can see Playable Games, several $100 million market cap conservatively as a bet, but to really put into perspective where I think they really could go, yeah, I think, at the peak of a gaming bull run, $1 billion in market cap might not be out of the question. We've seen crazier happen in past bull runs. Look at Gala Games. It went to a $5 billion market cap last bull run, and they weren't nearly the project that they are today back then. But they made it work. They got to $5 billion, but there wasn't really other competitors at the time. That's another thing to make note of, is that now there's Myria, there's Gala, there's Games for a Living. Granted, what Playable Games has, again, is that it's the only one building on Avalanche out of all of those with their nodes ecosystem. So that's my opinion on Playable Games and why, I feel strongly that they've been picking up so much steam that they have been, and as they should. They have their game Nexus on the Epic Games Store. They sold out, their 1,000, or they got rid of their, they sold out immediately of their half off, playable nodes, which is extremely bullish. The fact that they were even able to do it in this market, not a full-blown bull market, but they were still able to accomplish that, shows there's massive interest, and it's getting talked about more by, on YouTube, Twitter, and again, there's interest in this project, in this ecosystem, and I think that this is only the beginning for Playable Games. I would still say that we are early. Even if you feel like you missed that clean 10x recently, I would still say, and it was actually more than that, I want to say, but I would still say that we're early on Playable Games. If you have a long-term mindset, long-term vision, if you have high conviction in Playable Games, it's easy to see this giant price action and think that you missed it, that it's no longer going up from here. But again, I think we're still early. Long term, you have to remember that we're not anywhere near the peak of the next bull run, or especially the peak of the gaming bull run that will happen. But either way, that's my opinion, and just kind of a quick recap on some recent news involving Playable nodes and their node sale, and comparing it to maybe another ecosystem like Gala for long-term vision, just to compare the two roughly. But let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of Playable Games? Were you able to get your hands on one of those nodes at 50% off? If not, do you still plan on maybe getting your hands on a node in the future? Let me know. Let's talk about in the comments below. If you guys can like the video, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, see you guys.